Welcome back, everybody. Here we go with another episode leading off of day 41. So in our last episode, you got a chance to see how we encounter frogs, how the beginning of springtime is, and plenty of other different things that we encountered all at once to make the world even harder. So we're going to click on our world and let's get started into the world of Don't Starve Together. If, once again, you are not following me currently on Twitch TV, it's just all fun and games on Twitch TV. If you guys want to jump in Discord with us, my link is below on the Twitch channel as well, too, if you want to follow onto there and ask me any sort of questions. But I hope you guys are enjoying the tutorial so far as we continue to show you an entire world of Don't Starve. So a few things that we kind of got to talk about while we get back into it is, once again, introducing you to our tooth trap area that we spent so long on trying to get all the teeth that we needed from all the hounds. So hopefully you guys managed to get some. If you didn't, what I would suggest doing, if you did not manage to make any teeth trap at all, is go through the process and make the same situation that I have here, but we're going to bring one of our little friends over that we previously made in the base. And as our, what I like to say in springtime is when it's not raining, it's time. It's time. When it's not raining, it's time to shine, because that's when the time that you're going to get most of your work done is when it's not raining. So it's not raining right now. So let's hurry up and get everything that we need done before we continue on with anything else. So we're going to turn our miner hat off. We're going to check out as much as we can here. So we got a few things that are beginning to obviously start to dwindle down in our fridges. We got a plenty amount of ice for filler. And are we going to be using ice as filler right now? No, we're not. You should not be using ice as filler during springtime, because what do you have an abundance of? Food. Berries and everything will grow like crazy. Just remember, we have a recipe that we're going to show you here in a few minutes that's going to make your life amazing for when you have your little gobbler trap. So take our stuff take our rod out of here, put it into a different chest, and we're gonna work on getting ourselves something out of our awesome little crop that we have. So put a seed down in there if you have. If you don't have an advanced farm, that's okay as well too. We're gonna show you something nice and special here in a minute. Now, if you manage to get honey during your adventures and you got a little bit of berries, well, 3 honey, 1 berry, and you're gonna get yourself something awesome out of the crock pot. Something that's going to help your sanity while you're on the go. Now, of course, you can take what we've done before and you can cook up a green cap and you can get your sanity that way, or you can cook up some cactus and get your sanity that way. But there's actually a better recipe, and a recipe that is actually already shown to my right. But because for the sake of the video, I want to show you guys how to make it in the recipe, and I want to show you how to get more honey if you need to as well too. Getting honey in springtime is troublesome, so just be careful about that. Make sure that you have a friend if you want to, if you want them to help you along. It's always good to do that, but especially in Abigail is one of the best characters to do that. So there we go, some nice taffy for us. So here it is, taffy. You're going to go ahead and you're going to eat that. It's going to restore a little bit of sanity and a little bit of hunger. Not as good as cooked green caps, so it's not as awesome. That being said, if you have green caps, why not use them? Because they're just sitting there otherwise, and they're going to rot away. So let's use some green caps and look at our sanity just go all the way back up. Another sanity source, as I've already mentioned before, using your tent at nighttime or dusk to restore your sanity and HP. But like I said, you should only be using those in emergencies. For now, we're going to take our berry. We're going to put our berry back inside of our little trap there, and we're going to start picking our berries as we can. So let's split up the berries. It's always good to make sure that you do this during the daytime. As soon as dusk hits, do not do it. As soon as you see a gobbler, get out there and attack the gobbler, or let Abigail take care of it for you. Because remember, once dusk hits, the gobblers are no longer going to be going to your trap. They're going to immediately wake up and go right back to bed. And there we go. So we're going to stop picking because we don't want to continue to do that. And hopefully we can find our drumsticks. Very hard to locate with what we got here. So you can also hold spacebar and your character will automatically pick up any of the leftover drumsticks. Or if you have the Action Crew Reborn mod that I have, you hold shift, double click on here, and your character will try to find all the leftover drumsticks. Let's put these back in the fridge. And as I mentioned before, if you did not get a chance to make your tooth traps, well, what can you do? You can take regular traps and you can move them over there as well too. So take your traps that you have. Doesn't mean if you want to take the ones that are in the rabbit holes, you can. If you want to leave them there for in the future, you can do that as well too. But I'm going to take some of them that I left over there, and I'm going to get them ready for when we want to catch more frogs. So next to the frogs, next to the tooth traps, we're gonna set up some regular traps here, and we're gonna put more of them down. And you know, if you don't want to waste a lot of grass, that's okay. You know, but I mean, I would say 4 to 8 in a row is perfectly fine, because as the frogs run towards you, they catch 1, 2, 3, 4. You run right back, take them, and put them right back on the ground to continue to catch more frogs. Okay. So what's next during springtime? Well, as you can see, our grass is still needing to be fertilized because we haven't managed to actually fertilize that. So why did we grab all of that poop? Well, once again, we got our poop, we got our bones, continue to get more bones. We're going to make something that's really important in the world of Don't Starve Together to expand how much manure you have. So let's go into under food. Seems odd, right? You're going to make a bucket of poop. If you can, make 2 of them, because you're going to need more than 1 anyways. So we've just basically turned 3 poop into 10 uses. So why is that important? Well, you're basically expanding how much you can fertilize with just 1 stack of poop. So instead of, for example, you know, you have a stack of 10, well, now you've made 30 ways of refreshing soil. So, or sorry, refreshing crops that need to be fertilized. Awesome source. You can also, of course, use your regular fertilizer if you want as well too, if you have any leftover food that managed to spoil. So that's why I always say fertilizer is always best to keep around. And you can get more fertilizer and more poop from our ways that we previously showed you as well too. Our crops are growing nice and awesome. So if you find any more poop inside of your chest, make sure that you begin to make more buckets of poop. I think we're all out of poop. I think, yes, we are. We have a little bit more rod here. You can also fertilize your crop that we're growing here. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to show you what we want to get out of this and why. So we'll continue to get our logs. We'll make 1 more bucket of poop, and we're going to grow this thing up until we can see what it is. It's a carrot. Okay. So you basically, when you take a plant, a seed, and you put it inside here, you're going to have a chance of getting any type of you have like a low chance of getting certain types of things. We're going to have a higher chance of getting other things. Carrots are usually the more abundant ones. Same with corn. There we go. Corn. Boom. What do we need corn for? We need corn for one of the best recipes in Don't Starve Together, which is something that you can't eat. Well, you could if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it. You're going to take yourself, when you finally get corn, if you don't want to do the improved farm, you don't have to. It's completely optional. I'm just showing you for the sake of the video that this is going to make our life even better for our little trap that we got going on here. So in the crock pot, you're going to take 1 corn, 2 honey, and 1 twig. Boom. You're going to let that cook up, let that stew for a little while. Put our carrots away that we have actually already had. We're going to take our berries and we're going to put them inside there as we continue to get more in the morning. And what do we have here? Powder cake. Do not eat it, whatever you do. It's not good for you. But what is it good for? It's good for our gobbler trap. Powder cake will last, I don't even know how long. I know over 1,000 days or something. It's like something ridiculous before it rots. Why is that important? Well, gobblers love powder cake. So if you made this little trap as like we did, what's going to end up happening is the gobblers are going to go and they're going to go crazy for it, and they're just going to keep going crazy for it. A berry is only going to last a few days before it spoils, and once it spoils, the gobblers don't care about fertilizer. They don't care about rotting food, but they do love powder cakes. So that just means an endless trap for these gobblers to continuously go after, and that's why it's such a good ingredient to get that. Now, will we ever use improved farms again? Maybe. I wouldn't really suggest it. It sounds sad, but that's really the most use that you're going to get out of an improved farm. So back to where we want to be. We want to make sure that we have our bug net in our backpack, because we're going to go get ourselves potentially some more fireflies if we really need to make some more, refill our lanterns or our miner hats, but I don't think we're going to need to do that. So at this point, I would suggest going through and potentially start organizing some of the things. So I'm actually going to leave my bug net on the ground for now because I'm not going to need it. And instead, I'm going to swap it out for my umbrella just for the sake of the video to show you how to use it, because once again, obviously I have my umbrella. We're going to keep our football helmet on us. We have our thermal stone that we technically don't really need right now, although it's always nice to keep on you anyways. I think it's time that we go get a few more logs before we head out too far. So let's do that. So we're going to get ourselves a few logs from our little tree farm behind our house, and we're going to still be preparing ourselves for more frogs. It sounds crazy that we're so scared of frogs in this game, but trust me, I mean, when they show up, you can see that in our previous video how crazy the frogs can get. So we've managed to somewhat show you how to maintain sanity, sleeping in a tent when dusk happens or nighttime or whenever you get a chance. That's obviously the number one way that most people do. Of course, cooking up green caps, making yourself some taffy, or, and these bats will not show up, this is a Hollow Knight event, or of course going to a cactus area, picking all the cactus, cooking up the cactus, and making yourself a quick little snack that way. And that's the best way of restoring food and sanity. Unfortunately, though, unless you're living in or around the desert, you're not going to have yourself a good time when it comes down to going all the way to the desert to get cactus. Of course, you see a few little friends here that are trying to attack us. Now, how do I avoid the tree guards? Well, plant all the pine cones that we just got, and boom, they're going to start realizing that we do love the forest, and they're back away. So it's always good, if you do not like fighting these things, have a stack of the pine cones in your inventory, because what's going to happen is, say tree guards are so slow that they're not going to catch up to you anytime soon. So it's always good to have a stack of those, just for the fact of replanting, of course, because you want to keep trees active and don't starve, but also to keep the bosses at bay. Now, every time I plant this, you're going to hear them do a little bit of a growl, and that's just indicating that they're saying thank you, thank you, thank you. It's kind of a weird thing that they do, but it happens. So let's pick up the rest of our food. We got our fill on our wood that we needed. We have a stack and a half of frog legs. The biggest problem with frog legs is that they spoil very quickly. So now that we have so much frog legs, what are we going to do with them? Well, when they start to spoil, this is why we have ourselves an awesome bird cage. And here we go. We're going to take a stack of frog legs, not right now, but when the time comes, and we're going to feed them to our bird. And I'm going to show you why it's so important to do that with a lot of your meat and stuff that is about to spoil. Okay, so as we continue to worry about more frogs, do we need to get more hounds' teeth? Yes, we do, but unfortunately, we've already exhausted that, and it's going to be very hard to get more hounds' teeth. So as it's dusk, let's continue to wander around, get some more stuff out of our base. Perhaps you want to spend this time to gather twigs and gather grass. But I would not suggest, once again, getting berries. You don't have to listen to me. You can go and do that yourself if you want to. But just remember that the gobblers, they will not go towards your go towards the pen during dusk. They're only going to do it during daytime. So I would really suggest saving that. But like I said, if you need berries and you have to have food, feel free to do so. It's always nice to take a day in Don't Starve together to just, like kind of relax a little bit and just gather resources in your base and make sure that things are nice rather than running around and adventuring. That's not something that you have to do. I know you don't want to. I know some games you want to just lean back and not be super stressed. This is one of those games. You just kind of have to get used to, what days are safe to do things and what days are not safe to do things. So I think it's good to spend, like I said, half a day or whatever, just picking up anything around your base that you want to clean up with, or cook yourself a nice meal or something, and that way you're prepared for the next day. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just getting ourselves some extra twigs that we might not need right now, but perhaps in the future when we're about to get into a fight, it's nice to have them available. So we got ourselves some more meatballs. Thank you, Kiri, for doing so. Let's cook up some more meatballs just because things are starting to go and spoil again. And once again, we're using our berries and we're not using our ice because our ice is extremely important. So you should have a pre-made fling-o-matic. Remember that? I said that a while ago. It's always good to have I call it a pocket flingo. It's always good to have a little pocket flingo there. And we're going to show you exactly why during our next event. We already have this fling-o-matic here and this flingo. So, our base should be pretty much protected. But once again, it's always nice to have it available just in case. Thanks again for watching this video. See you in the next one.